it's Miriam. So today is going to be a little uni slash life update, life after uni Q&A. So I asked you guys on my Instagram stories and my YouTube community tab to send in any questions that you may have about university, literally anything uni related, and I'm going to be answering them all in this video. Okay, so quickly before we start this Q&A, I think it's best if I actually tell you guys what I studied. I studied a Bachelor of Media and Communications, majoring in public relations at Trobe University. It was a 3-year course. I started in 2017 and graduated in December 2019. I actually graduated high school and applied to get into university straight away, so I didn't take a gap year or anything. I just like went straight into uni. That was what I studied. I will get into more detail later on in this video because you guys did ask me questions about my course. So yeah, now let's just get into the questions. Straight off the bat, explain the course you did. So like I said, I did a Bachelor of Media and Communications, and at my university we had to choose between 4 majors, which were journalism, sport journalism, media industries, and public relations. So yeah, it was a 3-year course, and I feel like public relations is a mix between all of the 4 majors. We focused a lot on strategic communications, which is like the core of public relations. We also did a lot of content creation, like photography, videography, filming, editing. And it's really cool because I feel like my course really allowed me to be creative, practical, analytical, and theoretical all at the same time. Like I really did live my Hannah Montana fantasy of the best of both worlds. I feel like a lot of people just automatically think media and communications is all about television and journalism. It is so much more than that, and it is very closely linked to business. My first year we focused a lot on writing and just like expanding our writing skills, because a lot of communications obviously is about written and verbal communication, so we had to have our written skills on point. So we did a lot of articles, media releases, which is something we didn't really do much of, media releases, but it is something that you should know how to write when you're doing public relations. We did a lot of campaigns, communication plans, and communication reports, which was the analytical, theoretical kind of things, but you also got to be creative in the tactics and recommendation side, which is always amazing. And of course, like a huge part of public relations is social media. So we did a lot of social media analysis, social media management. In my 3rd year, we had this subject called the agency, where we had to work for our university's like little agency, and we had a bunch of clients that we were working on and doing like projects and stuff with them, and they were real clients, so it was like real life experience. And you were pretty much a PR consultant. You would organize meetings with your clients, you would shoot content for them, whether it was video or photo, write communication plans, media releases, anything to really like grow your client's business and like bring awareness to something, or organize and promote an event for them. So yeah, my 3rd year we did that, and it was really helpful because it made me realize that there are so many different avenues that you can go through after you graduate with that degree. You can get into digital marketing, you can get into social media, content creation, photography, videography. I really hope that answered your question. I feel like I didn't answer it properly, but if you do have any specific questions about my course, definitely feel free to hit me up and I will totally get back to you. Pros and cons. I think a huge pro is that you get to be creative and practical and analytical at the same time, and there's so many different things you can do, from content creation to social media management to digital marketing to writing media releases, doing communication plans. There's so many different pathways that you can go with communications. Another really good thing is that the course only goes for 3 years, so there's a less chance of feeling really demotivated. Also a huge pro, majority of the time media and communications degrees and like core classes never have exams depending on what elective you pick. I went through 3 years of my degree without doing a single exam, and it was totally amazing. So instead of doing exams, you would make up for it by doing assignments. Another pro that I almost forgot is that university literally forces you to be independent. There aren't teachers that are constantly on your back telling you, you have to do this assignment, remember you've got this test to study for. Like literally like don't care if you don't submit an assignment. It's just like, well, that's your own fault. So university forces you to be independent, which I personally think is a really good thing. So a huge con for me was that my university didn't have that many communications related electives. For my course, I already had 2 core classes that were compulsory, and then I had to pick 2 extra electives for me to do that would get my credit points up so I can actually pass and graduate. Unfortunately, my university didn't have that many options. Like half of the electives were like so unrelated to me, and I was stuck doing like random like anthropology classes and history classes just to get my credit points up because there weren't that many to choose from. What subjects would you recommend doing in high school to do your course? I definitely say you should do business and media in high school. I think doing those subjects in high school will help you figure out if this is the right course for you. But I'd say do subjects that really interest you. How did you figure out what course you wanted to do, and when did you figure it out? Honestly, I don't know. Growing up, I always wanted to do journalism. I always saw myself as like a magazine editor or something. I think I had journalist as my dream job since I was like 9 or 10. I think that stemmed off me being obsessed with Bratz, because obviously the whole Bratz concept is for teenagers that start their own fashion magazine, and I always wanted to do that. I thought that was so cool. I just loved writing. I loved design and all that stuff. I just thought it was super fun, and I wanted to be a journalist for years actually. But when I hit like year 11 and 12 is when I realized that it wasn't really for me. That was when I went into the whole spiral of I don't know what the heck I want to do once I finish high school. When you're in high school, you're always thinking high school is literally your whole life and you have to get your together in high school, but really you don't, and it's totally normal to not know what you want to do. For years I wanted to be a journalist, and then I had a period of time where I wanted to be a psychologist because I really enjoyed psychology and I really enjoyed helping people. But then I realized I don't think that's really for me because I'm not a very like sciencey person, but I always enjoyed business. It was one of my favorite subjects in high school. I did media as well. Media was my absolute favorite subject, hands down, in high school. I enjoyed creating content. I loved photography and videography, and my media teacher always said you should consider doing this like either as like a side hustle or like think about it seriously as like a career pathway. But I also liked business, so I was kind of stuck between the two, and that's when I realized media and communications is literally business and media combining together to create one thing. So yeah, that's kind of how I figured it out. It was a very long process. I definitely struggled a lot. Do you think you're ever going to go back and study something else? Definitely. I am always thirsty for knowledge, which I would say is a good thing. I love learning, and especially since I've gone through primary school, high school, and straight into university, and this is the first year where I'm not really like studying. I feel like I would definitely go back and study something. I don't think I would go back and do like a full-on course, maybe like a little bit of a side course for like a few months or something. I really want to actually learn more about graphic design because that's something I didn't learn when I was in university, but something that I should know about. So yeah, maybe I will study something. I don't know when exactly I'd go back to study, but I 100% can see myself going back and studying. How do you feel now that you have finished uni? I feel so relieved that I don't have to go back and do another assignment, but also at the same time I feel super sad because I did enjoy uni. It was a lot of fun. I got to be very independent. I got to meet so many new people. I got to learn more about myself and learn more about what I enjoy. And I also feel like going to uni made me feel less like an adult, because once you graduate university, you are probably searching for jobs, trying to get together. And now that I've graduated uni, I'm like, holy I actually have to be an adult now. Like, I'm a full-on real adult. So yeah, it is crazy, and it is a weird time in my life right now because it's just like you finish uni, like what now, you know? And how did you cope with the concept of transitioning from study to work? Well, I haven't actually like fully transitioned into work because I haven't found myself a job in my field. So I'm like in that little transition period, which I find the most confusing part. The whole applying for jobs process is just so annoying, if I'm gonna be honest. Hopefully I can actually answer that question properly once I've actually got a job. How was uni? Love you. Love you right back. And and uni was great. I really enjoyed it. I loved making new friends. I loved learning more about my course and like what my dream job would entail, except I procrastinated a lot and I probably shouldn't have. What are you planning on doing now after grad? I've just been applying for jobs at the moment. I literally apply for a new job every single day. It is really hard though, because a lot of places like want at least like 3 to 5 years of experience, and I'm just like, I kind of need a job to get that experience, so maybe you should hire me so I can get that 3 to 5 years of experience. Other than that, I've been working a lot at my part-time job. If you guys don't know, I work part-time at a fruit shop, so I have been getting my hours up there and saving money from that. I have been filming YouTube videos, so hopefully graduation and finishing uni means more YouTube videos, but mainly I've just been like applying for jobs and trying to figure things out, and yeah. Favorite part slash favorite memory? Probably like making the friends that I did make in university. They made my uni experience so much better and so much more fun. I feel like my course really got me out of my shell a little bit. University really helped me gain my confidence and just like not hate public speaking as much as I do. Was it hard making friends in uni? Yes and no. In my first year, I made a lot of friends, but none of them were actually doing the same course as me. So half the time I would only see them for like a semester and that was it. Like one of my first friends that I made at uni, who is still one of my really good friends to this day, his name's Matt. I met him in one of my classes. We became friends because we were assigned to a group assignment together. He did one of my core classes as an elective subject. So his course was a Bachelor of Criminology, whereas obviously I did Media and Communications. We only had 2 classes together, and that was in first year, and we didn't have any classes after that. And that was the case with me and like literally every single person that I became friends with. I had friends that did creative arts, that did tourism, linguistics, like so many different courses, and I was just like, why am I struggling to find friends that are doing the same course as me? Obviously in first year is when you make majority of your friends, so going into second year I didn't have the friends that I had already made in first year, so I felt a little bit uncomfy because I felt like everyone had already formed their little friendship groups and I didn't really have like any friends that were in my course, so I kind of just like been chilling in the back, you know, just like, yeah. It wasn't until my third and final year of university was when I actually made friends in my course, and I don't know why. I hadn't even been friends or met any of them in my first and second year, and they ended up being some of my closest friends ever. So I don't know what the heck happened in first or second year, because apparently I didn't even know that they existed. But yeah, my third year is when I made friends in my course. I'd say it's definitely not hard making friends at uni. It's just sometimes a little bit hard when you make friends that are not doing the same course as you, because that means that you probably won't really see them as much. My main tip and advice is to just be yourself, sit next to someone you just get good vibes from, and start a conversation. Ask them about what other classes they're doing, what course they're studying, if they're excited, if it's their first year. Then start talking a little bit about yourself so that you guys can get to know each other, add each other on Facebook, Instagram. A lot of people at university are so nice, because it's not like high school where you have those cliques that just really mean. It's nothing like that. Everyone at uni is so nice and everyone is always willing to be your friend. Uni people are just so much nicer than high school people. How do you keep motivated? You have asked the wrong person that question, because I'm a huge procrastinator. Like, I procrastinate everything. I went through pretty much my whole degree like procrastinating, to be honest. But the times that I really felt motivated was when I had my bullet journal and I would use my habit tracker. So I had a tracker for each month and my heading would be study, and then I would color in the days that I would study throughout like that whole month. It gave me like that motivation to be like, okay, if I study and if I do this assignment, if I read this chapter, if I do this quiz, I can color in that box and it's going to be looking aesthetically pleasing. If worst comes to worst, I do this thing where I'm like, if I finish this assignment by this day, this time, I'm gonna treat myself to a bubble tea, or I'm gonna treat myself and buy that really cute dress that I've been having my eye on. It really helped me get by in university and actually do my work, and also just have like this as your motivation. If you're gonna be putting an assignment off, you're gonna be spending more time thinking about it and just like stressing about it, whereas if you finish your assignment earlier, you're not gonna really be worrying about that assignment and you can just kind kind of like move on and enjoy the rest of your time instead of procrastinating and thinking about your assignment until the very last minute. And also think every assignment that you do gets you one step closer to graduating university, and then you'll be done forever. Enjoy the assignments while you can, because once you finish your assignments, it's on to real life and getting a job. That's your motivation for ya, and that's something I should have probably told myself while I was at university. Where or what is your dream job now that you have finished? My dream job is to be a social media manager. I love social media, I love content creation, and I would just love to be working in social media management. I personally really want to work as a social media manager for a beauty or fashion company, because I love beauty and fashion, and I really think you need to also love the company that you're working for as well as the position that you're applying for. And if that doesn't work out, I would really love to work for a PR or social media agency. First day of uni tips. My number one tip, of course, is to just be yourself. Be ready to learn and be confident. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there, because people at uni are very non-judgmental. We love that for us. Make sure that you arrive early. I'd suggest like coming in like 5 minutes early to your class, because obviously on your first day you don't want to be late, and also you don't want to be necessarily on time, because a lot of people are probably going to have the same idea to come in early and get their seats and find their classes and stuff. I'd highly recommend going to your orientation day. I went to my orientation day. The only real thing I did for orientation was I went around and tried to find all my classes, so I knew on my first week I would know where all my classes were, so then you're not stuck on the first day, get like lost and trying to find your classes and all that stuff, because that would be a total nightmare. It saved my whole life just like going to my orientation day and finding all my classes. Make sure you bring your laptop, bring a notebook, bring pens, bring money, make sure you're caffeinated, of course, and just have a good time. Honestly, just like enjoy it, because university can be fun. What is your favorite thing about university? My favorite thing about university is that you get to be so independent while also doing what you love. Okay, so those are all the questions that I'm going to be answering in this Q&A, because I can see that my battery is flashing and I have been talking for way too long now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you found it interesting and informative and that it was helpful. Let me know if you guys want me to make this into like a little university series, because I might do that. Give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed watching. Subscribe down below. I post new videos every single week. Follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter. I post a ton on there as well. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!